Gabriele Gomez and Joe Turney. Tuukka Taponen and Luigi Colcio on row number 10. Ariel Elkin and Daniel Briest on row 11. Oscar Pedersen and Ivan Dominguez on row number 12. Noah Miller and Hugo Guchuku on row number 13. And that's a rather beautiful looking row number 13 over there that we have with the 2020 European Junior Champion in Hugo Guchuku, backed by McLaren, of course, as part of the Young Driver Program, and by his side the Swedish new king Noah Miller, that just won the KZ World Championship in Kristianstad not so long ago. Are we racing this time? The third is a good one. We're racing here in Campillos in the Oka class. Cracking start from Nicolas Soloff, who takes the inside line and keep it all together in front of Rafael Camara. A couple of drivers in a tussle at the back end of the grid, but no one is off. Watch out for the braking point. Oh, and one of the Tony Kart drivers actually going off before the braking point of turn number 5. I wonder who that is. We'll get back to that in a minute, but in the meantime, the two leaders already extending their way in front of the rest of the pack. Timotheus Kucharczyk lost a place, is now in front of the 271 of Martinus Tenzorn. Nicolas Soloff down to turn number 10. Camara already putting the pressure on the Bulgarian. And here we go outside into the two right-hander. Third place for, it was Timotheus Kucharczyk who dropped to fourth place. Let's try to see who that is. That we lost actually one of the Tony Kart drivers who lost a lot of positions, and I think it was Juho Valtanen. It might have been Juho Valtanen. Unfortunately, 257 that went wide on the way to turn number 5. Let's try to have confirmation. Yes, indeed, Juho Valtanen is dropping position in our classification as a consequence of a bit of a tussle. It was maybe squeezed a little bit in that part of the track and went sideways, dragging a lot of sand onto the outside line, and as a result, unfortunately, Juho Valtanen has dropped tons of position all the way back to 25 position lost, unfortunately, for Juho Valtanen. That's a disastrous start of a race for Juho Valtanen, the multiple Finnish karting champion, who's recently joined Tony Kart Racing Team for these races in the upcoming season. Oh, beautifully made from Miguel Costa just behind. This is it wasn't him, my apologies, 237. We're back with Timotheus Kucharczyk right now. This is battle with Evan Gilter from the VDK Racing Team. Gilter, the young Frenchman, going right inside of Kucharczyk. This is battle for 5th. Now we have Gilter charging through in front of, he's gonna be trying to be in front of Martinus Tenzorn. Back with the leaders into turn number 1. Tsolov, 0.3 of a second in front of Camara. Third place for Rintaro Sato, had a good start. 2 positions gained up to 3rd. Tenzorn in 4th, under the pressure, rising from behind is the rest of the classification, as we have Rintaro Sato, Tenzorn, Gilter, Kucharczyk, Norton Andreassen. I was searching for him just after Kucharczyk, 6 and 7. Then we have Matheus Mogato at the back of your picture with the Beerlaat colors in 8th. 9th place for Christian Bertucca, his teammate Olin Vieira is 10th at the moment. And watch out for the top contenders of this class. Where are they at the moment? As we keep an eye as well on the battles ahead. Joe Turney is still in 16th place at the moment, trying to climb as much as he can. He still have plenty of time, of course. This is only lap number 3. And 2017 going around. This is Norton Andreassen getting past Timotheus Kucharczyk. And Evan Gilter is being overtaken as well in the meantime. At least try to overtake Martinus Tenzorn, but the overtaking didn't work in the corner number 15 and 16. Great battle going on between Tenzorn and Gilter. This is for 4th place, as the VDK driver is going to try again. He did try in the breaking point of turn number 15 in the chicane. Tenzorn was quick to respond, and it seems to be that Norton Andreassen is on the charge and on a much better pace, coming to turn number 8 on the top spot of the track, downhill into the heavy braking point of the hairpin, the first one of the 3. It's very easy to lose momentum over there as you can actually keep sliding while braking. And Norton Andreassen goes through Evan Gilter. Oh, that was tight, but it was certainly enough for the World Racing driver to make his way through. For the back as well, we have Matheus Mogato in solid explanation with Kucharczyk, and Kucharczyk dropping a positions to the Brazilian up in 7th place. 6, yes indeed, Matheus Mogato 7. Then we have Bertucca in 9. Olin Gali is 10. Gabriele Gomez is 11 in front of Harvard Lindblad, your championship so to be called leader, since Andrea Chiamini Antonelli is not here with us. Here we go into turn number 5. Watch out for Gilter. He's going to try to go around the inside, but so does Norton Andreassen on Martinus 10 zone. Young driver from Denmark, from Leclerc by Lennox Racing. He's going to have to back off a little bit and go defensive because Gilter is very fast behind him. Norton Andreassen now in 4th place. He's going to try to catch up with Rintaro Sato just be in front of him. He's trying to see how it's going to go between those three. But at the moment, oh, watch out for Gilter. Yes, he goes through. And overtaking down, but not so much actually, because Martinez sends on fought back on the exit. It was beautifully done, and now Gilter finds himself under the pressure of Matthias Morgato just behind. You could see that Gilter didn't protect his position quite enough on the exit of turn number 11. Always all easier said than done, obviously, but once you go for the attack, you just really need to keep it steady on the exit, because otherwise you could actually have the driver fighting back quite quickly. That's what happened with Gilter and Martinez Senzon. But still, Morgato coming his way very quickly, the Birella driver. Fastest lap in this race for Andreassen in 1:06. As you can see, the World Racing driver on a charge. He has still 0.5 of a second to catch up on Rintaro Sato as we speak. Lap number 6 out of 16, with plenty of time remaining for this race to get going and maybe to be reversed. As 0.5 of a second is the gap between these young men on your picture. Nicolas Tsolov, Rafael Camara in second. And Tsolov on the charge as well, controlling his pace, controlling his race so far. He's been absolutely unbeatable pretty much, with 2 wins out of 3 for Nicolas Tsolov. This is certainly so far the best weekend that he's had in Champions of the Future 2021. The young Bulgarian from DPK that has been really one of the young forces on the international karting scene in direct drive classes for the past season over there now. We get back here with Norton Andreassen, and you can see from 0.5 of a second the gap has become just nothing, and he goes for the move into turn number 5. Turn number 4 on the way to the hairpin. That's right, and that's he made that stick beautifully, Norton Andreassen, now making his way up to 3rd. Next one, but he's going to have 1.1 second to catch up, is Rafael Camara in 2nd. Good charge from Norton Andreassen, who was starting from 10th on the grid. He climbed 7 places in the course of 7 laps. 1 overtaking by a lap. That's quite a good average, isn't it, for Norton Andreassen? As we have Rafael Camara, young Brazilian from Czech Republic, on our screen. Disappointed by the conclusion of his European Championship after an incident in his heats back in Zuera. Very much in contention for the title in Champions, as he was last year, finishing in 3rd place in Portimao. On the way to turn number 1, climbing this never-ending climb, like a bit of a Pikes Peak parkour. Reminds me of Spa-Francorchamps. But this beautiful circuit of Campillos has been really built on a hill with a 3% climb. 3% climb from the bottom to the top of the hill, up to turn number 8, and then you go downhill, leaning the curb on the way to the hairpin, and every braking part. But this is really an up and down circuit like we've rarely seen in karting nowadays. And one of the Cosmic drivers, the 211, is back in the this is Luigi Coluccio. Retirement, unfortunately, for Luigi Coluccio, one of the leaders of the Cosmic Racing department. The Italian is back in the pits. Halfway through this race, 8 laps out of 16. Nicolas Tsolov for 0.5 of a second, still very much in control. Rafael Camara in 2nd. 1.2 seconds behind is the Norton Andreassen. Then we have those drivers on your picture, the 232 further back. This is Arvid Lindblad. Arvid Lindblad with the Red Bull colors on his helmet is going to go for the move. He's going to go for the move. He's searching for the pace. Certainly coming here on the Birella driver. This is Christian Bertucca. Bertucca was trying to shut the door, but Lindblad goes for it as well. Bertucca has the inside line and keep it all together. Beautiful battle. Lindblad is 10 still. He's looking for a better result in this race, obviously, after a difficult, so to speak, weekend. He was only 6 on the grid, dropping a couple of positions in the opening stages of this race, managing to get through on the inside. He's in a good position. Oh, that was heated. That was tight. Bertucca tried to impress his opponent by coming across, and there he goes around the inside. Oh, there was a bit of wheel touching, I think, over there. Nothing to be worried about, but Lindblad is still having a hard time trying to get around Bertucca. Oh, and the push right now into the braking zone. Watch out for the front fairing. Hugo Choukou in the meantime is having a warning flag, and Lindblad is in trouble. Lindblad is in trouble because he's being stuck, as it seems, by Christian Bertucca, and look out for what's coming behind him. Kasper Agman in 11 is going to go for the move as well. Yes, he does. Oh, he was close. But by doing though, Akman actually is going to maybe lose some momentum. Oh, and some drivers out of the race. Oh my God, a big incident over there coming to turn number 5. The 247. He was one of the Tony Kart drivers. This is Joe Turney out of this race. He just went together with one of the Forza Racing drivers. This is Gabriel Gomez, from CRG. Gomez and Turney just went together into the climb to the turn number 5. Wow, that was a big hit. And I think that Joe Turney had, as you can see, lying on the side. What a disaster for Joe Turney. He's one of the championship contenders in this class. And now he's going to have to retire after this big incident with Gabriel Gomez. They were fighting for 13th place. Joseph Turney trying to get around the young Brazilian, but it didn't go to plan. And he was actually, he's on his feet. Both drivers on their feet. That's good to see. But out of this race, a big hit on the back by the look of it for Joe Turney, but on his feet and safe and sound. Wow, that happened very quickly as we were focusing on the battle with Harvard Lindblad in trouble as well. What happened to the British driver in the meantime, as Tsolov, your leader in this race, is pulling away, as you can see, 1 minute, 0.2, and really Rafael Camara is trying everything he can, but Norton Andreassen has lapped just a little bit faster, 0.3 faster in the last lap for Norton Andreassen, and as a result, you can see that the gap that he had, 1.2 seconds, just dropped a half, 0.6 now, between Rafael Camara and Norton Andreassen. We're back with one of the DPK drivers. This is the 319. Oh, and 2 drivers out! This is one from World Racing and the 273 from Leclerc. What happened over there? Another crash into this pre-final. This is Pedro Hilbrand. Out of this race. I didn't get to see. This is Marcus Kayak. Marcus Kayak and Pedro Hilbrand battling for 17. Went together into the highest part of the track, the turn number 8. As you could see in the left side of the picture. What a disaster. Once again, a big name after Joe Turney, Pedro Hilbrand and Marcus Kayak as well, out of contention in this race. Yellow flag being waved in turn number 8. Nothing to disturb. But another big turn of event into this pre-final. Really getting into heat. A lot of heat between those young drivers, but definitely another result that Joe Turney, Hilbrand and Kayak had foreseen in their head, as well as for Gabriel Gomez, who had to retire, Luigi Coluccio as well, retiring on a technical problem by the look of it. Now we're about to conclude lap number 12. Nikola Tsolov has been uncatchable. Really nothing that could actually concern the Bulgarian driver since the start of the weekend. He has a tiny bit more experience than most of the drivers here, having competed in the national championships with DPK Racing. DPK Racing very much familiar, of course, with this layout because of the Spanish championship. You could see the yellow flag still being waved for the chassis of Marcus Kayak and Pedro Hilbrand. But now the battle is getting in intensity between those two. Camara for second, Andreassen for third. There's a front row start at play between those two drivers, even though Norton Andreassen knows that from starting from third on the grid on the inside line, that could give him maybe a great opportunity to take the toe of Tsolov and try maybe to get ahead in the first sector. That's always the theory, of course, but if you manage a better start from the outside, you can always surprise your pole sitter. Two different options, watching over the shoulder, very close to each other for tenths. As this is lap number 14, the checkered flag is getting near. There's not much time remaining for Andreassen. Can he actually make his move, run in turn number 5? That was very close indeed to the hairpin. But Rafael Camara saw it coming and closed the door. He's going to have to wait, Norton. But he's very much in there, in the shadow of the young Brazilian, who is no longer thinking about catching up with Tsolov, of course. Tsolov 1.6 seconds now, as he's going to be on his way to pole position for the final race of the year in Champions of the Future. The battle is still on and nothing is set in stone yet. Tsolov ahead, Camara and Andreassen on your picture battling for second. Rintaro Sato down 2.3 seconds in 4th place. And there comes the move. There comes the move from Norton Andreassen in the hairpin number 14. And it was well placed. He made that stick beautifully with no problem for Andreassen. You could see Rafael Camara watching over his shoulder. There's a huge gap that has been built, 2.2 seconds now on Rintaro Sato. He's having 1.5 seconds on Martinez Tenzon. And down in 6th, we have Matheus Mogato, who still actually could give a hard time to Martinez Tenzon for 5th place. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Evan Gilter down in 7, under the pressure of Timothy Kucharczyk, even though he has a 7/10 gap. Then we have Lindblad in 9 and Kasper Nagman in 10th. This is the penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. A bit more than 1.5 kilometers to go for this young man, Nikola Tsolov, as well as for Andreassen and Camara. This is going to be once again a strong sign sent to the opposition. But again, nothing is set in concrete yet. And that's something that we've seen in numerous occasions in karting, even though you might have the best of weekends through the heats as well as through the pre-final, starting in front. Nothing is ever concluded before the checkered flag or the final. And that's of course the lottery, the uncertainty that we like about the motorsport in general, but especially to the sport of karting. And sometimes we've seen in the past some drama conclusion to weekends of drivers being absolutely dominant. This time around, we've had 2 dominations in each class. Nikola Tsolov in OK, David Walter in Junior. And all signs are green for these 2 drivers to really go all the way to the end and seal the deal at the end of Champions. Absolutely untouchable. Nikola Tsolov out of turn number 11 into the 2 right-hander, uphill, back on the charge for the last sector. Then you go down again, heavy braking point for the turn number 14, close to us, into the last chicane. Left and right. I didn't think that we would see so many overtaking maneuvers, but we did in that part. And it's going to be checkered flag, victory and pole position for Nikola Tsolov, who keeps on his momentum going. Even through the entirety of the weekend, he's been up there, Nikola Tsolov, really doing the job. He's the man to beat in the OK class, and he will be until the end, even without a fight. Norton Andreassen is 2nd with a good recovery effort for the world racing driver, 8 places up to 2nd. Then Rafael Camara is finishing in 3rd. Rintaro Sato is 4th in front of Martinez Tenzon. Then we have Matheus Mogato in 6th. Evan Gilter is 7. Arvin Lindblad is 8 in front of Timothy Kucharczyk. Kasper Agman is 10. Just outside of the top 10, Christian Betuka in front of Arnin Galiviera, Daniel Briz, Artem Severyukin, Ariel Elkin, Oscar Pedersen, Tuka Taponen, Joel Bergström, Francesco Marenghi, climbing from the back end of the grid. Alfio Spina dropping positions down to 20 in front of Noah Milel, Ruben Moya, Roman Andriolo, Ugo Iguchuku, who, as a reminder, had a 5-second penalty and a warning flag. Then we have following Ivan Dominguez in 25th, Juho Valtanen done in 26th after his trouble in the opening lap. And then Sandro Olzem, Nerolin Randini, Karol Pazevic, Carrasquedo, Kubenko, and the retired drivers Hilbrand, Kayak, Gomez, Turney, and Coluccio. Wow, what a race that was once again, and a great domination from Nikola Tsolov in this pre-final. He will get to start the pre-final race of the year in Champions of the Future from pole position. But the opposition will be stronger than ever, of course, ready for the last fight, ready to give everything that they have after building on the pressure, building on the tension throughout the weekend. The drivers coming back to the track, to the Parc Fermé, as you can see the classification of the pre-final of the OK class. Right, it's a couple of minutes past 1 o'clock local time here in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break as we will be back at 1:45. So in 40 minutes, we will be back for more action, back on live on championskarting.com as well as on YouTube, Facebook,